Hello, welcome to my video of this 1966 Malibu convertible. I'm getting ready to go out and take a virtual drive in it. I'm listing this on eBay and I wanted to make a virtual drive along with the still pictures on the ad. This is again a 1966 Malibu. It has a 350 engine out of a 1970 Camaro. It's been all rebuilt by two guys that do race engines together, and it's built up so that it runs really nice and strong, but it'll run on pump gas with no problems. It's been about 45,000 miles since the entire car was restored, put together, and that's been over a span of probably 10 or 15 years. So it has the original chrome bumpers on it, front and rear. They're amazingly straight and haven't had to be re-chromed or anything. Top is real fresh. It's always been kept inside, so there's no problems with weathering on this car. It has the Krager SS wheels, and these are Firestone Indianapolis Speedway tires, and tires are all pretty much just like new. They're getting the Malibu. I've always loved the Malibus. They're just laid back and a nice, fun car to drive. SS badges and everything look great, but these are just nice little cars. That's all there is to it. Notice the back bumpers again. Most all the trim is original. It's not totally without flaws. You know, there's little things on it, but any piece of this thing you can get parts for them. And trim pieces, even brand new OEM type parts, I'm sure. The back glass, of course, is taken no weather. No rust bubbles whatsoever on the paint. And when they did the car, they didn't have to replace any floor panels or the trunk. There's a matching Krager wheel here to match the rest of them. There's the trunk. Pretty unusual on a convertible to have a rust-free trunk. That's the bottom of the convertible, little cargo bag in back of the back seat where it catches water if any happens to come in the roof. It's been painted underneath the hood and underneath the deck lids. And, the rubber around all the windows and doors has all been replaced. The door panels, you know, I don't know if they're original or not, but they're beautiful panels. And the seats are the OEM style. I'm sure they're replacement covers, but just really nice seats. And there happens to be a whole nother set of front covers for the buckets. Somehow they double ordered on the front buckets, and so there's a whole nother seat covers for the front two seats in case something ever happened to it. The underside of the roof is really clean. The visors are nice. The front windshield is chipless. It has all the gauges in it, nice drop-down type foot feed in it. So it runs about 200 degrees, 220 degrees going down the road, over 50 pounds cruising down the road. Oil pressure, tach works, the volts gauge works. It has a radio in it that has the original type knobs on it, so it doesn't distract from the original look of the car, but it's made to, I think, like put in an MPV player and stuff like that. And of course the AM, FM, so just AM. Speedometer works. The clocks work twice a day, the right time. It has a really nice tilt column. Console. The thresholds are nice, loop pal carpet. The dash has a couple little cracks right in the corners by each side of the speaker. Pretty common. Now I've got that rag there taped on the dash because I'm doing this with two cameras. I've had such a heck of a time getting some good pictures without something going wrong with one of the cameras or the light getting funny. And so I'm ready to put this GoPro right here up on the dash when we're ready to go down the road. And so let me shut it up here. I'll get ready to go outside. Now I'll go outside and park it on the lawn and walk around really close around every place. Down here, there's a little bit of speckling just from regular road sand and stuff. No bubbles. I can almost guarantee you that there's just no bubbles in these paints altogether. I couldn't say totally guarantee because I haven't pulled the moldings off, but I doubt there's a speck under there of any kind of rust. There's no indication of even rust repairs that's ever had to be done around the wheels on it. So it's original door handles, I believe. Wheel moldings, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine they could be reproductions, but I can't really tell from here. They're just really nice. It's badges of 327, which I've just always loved the 327. It just makes this car even look more original, you know, just to have that old 327. It was such an epic engine. But, and again, like I told you, it's a 350 out of a 70 Camaro, so it wasn't some junkyard truck engine that was rebuilt to throw in here. It's from the power era, you know, before 71, 71 and older. And it has a complete MagnaFlow exhaust system, dual system, clear out to the back, headers. It has the real nice wires on it that keep the wires away from the headers so you don't get that burning, which is so common with headers. It's a Jegs intake manifold, which I'm not sure what brand that builds them for them, but it's a nice aluminum intake manifold. And the covers themselves are aluminum. They're not just tin, chromed. Power steering, it has a dual reservoir, 1.25-inch bore master cylinder on it. It has an HEI ignition, and it has the proper kick downs and vacuum lines so that the 700R transmission's in it, which is a real tribute to any of these older cars that are geared with only 3 speeds. And so that it keeps it kicked down and everything. It won't burn out the 4th gear like they will if somebody just throws one in there and they let it lug down in overdrive and everything and doesn't kick down when it's supposed to. So it has the manual kick down thing, and then the vacuum lines that needs to be hooked up to make them last really well. Again, there's 45,000 miles on it since it was all done. It runs perfect. I mean, and they painted down to the inner fender wells, and so it's gloss black down there, and it's a lot easier to keep clean than just old flat Krylon flat paint. The hinges were taken off and painted, in course, and just a nice, it's a nice show and shine type car, and that's what the people have owned it have enjoyed doing with it for years. So let me look on my list here and see if oh yes, it has the 12-bolt 411 posi rear end in it, and that was one of the reasons for the 700R 4-speed overdrive automatic, to make it for those lower gears. The front end has all been rebuilt. Has disc brakes on the front. The glass is really nice all around. No chips on the windshield. One little side glass has a little bit of scarring on it where I'm not sure. It's probably something inside of the car mechanism, you know, where it scraped a little bit. But I mean, you know, it's not a brand new car, and but it is still a survivor. The way I look at it, just clean. Doesn't smell like smoke or anything. And now, well, I'm going to go out and go for a little, it's about a 6 or 7 mile little test drive. And then when I come back, I'll park it on the lawn out front of the old school here and walk around it and take some good video pictures of the car. And in here, the light's not very good, obviously, so I'll get it out there. It's blowing like a hurricane outside today. That's what happens in Idaho. About half the time, it seems like. There again, the tilt wheel. Well, I think I've covered about everything. I don't want to put the top down. It goes up and down just perfectly. It's electric, hydraulic, and everything. But in this weather, I don't want to take it out and blow dust in it and everything. So, oh, it has Idaho license plates, and they're 1966 license plates. So if somebody in Idaho buys it, they could register it in their name and run them. There's again, the magnetof's clear out here. When we get outside, I'll start it up, and you can hear how the engine sounds and everything. So now I'll get the doors open and run her out for the little demo ride, and then, like I say, when I come back, I'll pull out on the grass and walk around it slowly so you can see everything better. Okay, I'll try to position this camera. Now you may be noticing, if I'm using my cheaper GoPro on my hat, it's kind of makes a whirring noise and a thump all the time, and it's one reason I don't particularly like to use it. But my regular old GoPro here, it's flashing the light. The highway will look white looking, and I think it has to do with this really dark vinyl, or the bottom of the roof inside here, and the dark headliners, and then there's tinted glass right up here, and I think that the camera's trying to adjust between the amount of light that it has, and it's making the roads get white and everything. Of course, you're not out looking at the pavement, but I'm just trying to make the best video that I can to present it. I won't be saying much during the video, so I'll wait until I get back and turn the motor off before I do much more talking. I pretty much told the story on the car now anyway, but it might be something else I'll think about before we get done. Bought this old school here several years ago to make a home out of, and a place to put my stuff. Okay, garage door's closed, I'm ready to go. I was starting to say that I bought this old school years ago to make like my giant man cave, and also built a home in it. So, school was built in 1921, and I've sold my business not my business, but the business property in Twin Falls on Main Street. And I'm semi-retired now, which means I have to keep working. So. Anyway. Kind of like this little town that's only 411 people. What they used to say, hee-haw or something. But I keep my dealer license out here, so it makes a good place with not much overhead to run my business now. Don't even have to get quite as much for my cars now as I used to, because of the overhead. Okay, doing the test drive now. The camera on my hat turned off a while ago for some reason. So I've got two of them running now, trying to get a decent video. Sure is tough. I guess I'm gonna have to spend some money and buy a new GoPro.